In the midst of the ocean's vastness, a spectral entity casts a long, eerie shadow, the Queen Mary. This colossal vessel was once the pinnacle of British maritime engineering. Her maiden voyage in the year of 1936 marked the beginning of a long and illustrious career, sailing the high seas with the grace of a swan and the strength of a titan. Every inch of the Queen Mary echoed with the whispers of elegance and luxury. Her grand ballrooms were the backdrop of countless tales of laughter and joy, her cabins, a sanctuary for the weary traveler. She was more than just a ship. She was a floating palace, a testament to mankind's ingenuity and ambition. But as the winds of change swept across the globe, her purpose took a drastic turn. With the onset of the Second World War, she traded her champagne flutes for artillery shells. From a beacon of opulence, she was transformed into a warship, carrying thousands of troops across the treacherous waters of the Atlantic. The Queen Mary, once a symbol of peace and prosperity, now bore the heavy weight of war on her sturdy shoulders. Yet, it was not just the echoes of war that lingered in her corridors. As the years passed, whispers of unexplained occurrences began to circulate. Faint laughter could be heard from empty ballrooms, footsteps echoed in deserted corridors, and chilling apparitions were spotted, vanishing as quickly as they appeared. Was it the playful pranks of a mischievous crew member, or were there unseen passengers still aboard the Queen Mary? As the days turned into nights and years into decades, these tales of the paranormal became as much a part of the ship's lore as her illustrious past. The Queen Mary, once a marvel of human achievement, now stood as a chilling testament to the unknown. Her steel walls guarding secrets as deep and dark as the ocean's abyss. But behind her magnificent facade lies a haunted history waiting to be unveiled. So brace yourself as we delve into the haunting revelations of the Queen Mary, a journey that will take you beyond the realm of the known, into the depths of the unexplained. As the sun sets on the Queen Mary, the veil between our world and the afterlife seems to vanish. The Queen Mary's haunting history is as deep as the ocean she once sailed. This magnificent ship, once the epitome of luxury and elegance, has a past steeped in tragedy and death. A past that many believe has left its mark on the vessel, and not in a way one can see with naked eyes. The Queen Mary first set sail in the year 1936, a beacon of hope and a symbol of human ingenuity. However, her journey was not always smooth. The most tragic incident occurred during World War II when the Queen Mary, repurposed as a troop ship and painted a ghostly gray, collided with the British light cruiser, the Curaçao. The Curaçao was sliced in half, and more than 300 souls were lost to the icy waters of the North Atlantic. The Queen Mary, under strict orders not to stop for any reason, carried on, leaving the men of the Curaçao to their watery graves. Even on board the Queen Mary, death was not a stranger. In the throes of war, she carried thousands of soldiers, many of whom did not survive the journey. Crew members and passengers alike met their end aboard the ship in a myriad of ways: disease, accidents, even murder. The ship's engine room, in particular, was a hotspot for tragedy. It was here that 2 crew members met their untimely death, crushed in the ship's massive door 13 during safety drills. And let's not forget the innocent children who perished on board. A young girl named Jackie, who drowned in the ship's second-class pool, is said to still wander the decks, her laughter echoing in the ship's empty halls. These tragic incidents have left an indelible imprint on the Queen Mary, transforming it into a spectral playground. The ship has become a magnet for those intrigued by the paranormal, a place where the past refuses to stay buried, and the line between the living and the dead is blurred. The Queen Mary is not just a relic of the past, she is a host to countless spirits, each with its own haunting tale. In the heart of this majestic ship, the engine room is a hub of eerie activity. It's said to be the dwelling place of a spirit named John, a crew member who tragically lost his life there. Witnesses have reported hearing the echo of his anguished cries reverberating through the labyrinthine corridors. Then there's the first-class swimming pool, an opulent relic from a bygone era. Now it's believed to be a playground for spectral entities. Visitors have reported hearing the sounds of splashing and the laughter of invisible children, even though the pool has been bone dry for decades. But perhaps the most infamous of all is Room B 340. This unassuming cabin has a history of disturbances so unsettling that it was once sealed off from the public. Guests who've dared to stay overnight have reported everything from taps turning on by themselves to covers being yanked off beds, and even sightings of a spectral figure in the room. These are just a few of the countless chilling stories that have emerged from the Queen Mary. Each tale adds another layer to the ship's haunted reputation, painting a picture of a vessel teeming with ghostly residents. Yet, despite the fear they induce, there's a certain allure to these spectral tales. They serve as a stark reminder of the ship's storied past, a past that refuses to be forgotten. They keep the memory of the Queen Mary alive in a way that history books never could. The Queen Mary's hauntings are not just ghost stories, they're glimpses into a time long gone, echoes of the countless souls who once walked her decks. They're a testament to the indelible imprint these souls have left on the ship, an imprint that continues to manifest in the most spine-chilling ways. Step off the ship and you might leave, but the stories, the spirits, they never do. Today, the Queen Mary sits silently in the harbor of Long Beach, California, a ghost ship in the truest sense. No longer does she brave the tumultuous waves of the Atlantic, nor does she carry the laughter and whispers of passengers journeying across continents. She is now a stationary relic of the past, a grand testament to the elegance of a bygone era. The Queen Mary of today has traded her maritime duties for a more grounded role. She's become an iconic tourist attraction, a must-visit for both history buffs and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Each year, thousands of visitors walk her decks, exploring her grand ballrooms, staterooms, and engine rooms. But they aren't there just for the Art Deco architecture or the mesmerizing ocean views. No, they're there for something more ethereal. There's a certain allure to the Queen Mary, a mysterious draw that seems to whisper through her rusted hull. This isn't just a ship, it's a ghostly vessel, a spectral playground. The Queen Mary isn't just known for her history, she's famous for her hauntings. Paranormal tours are a staple on the Queen Mary, with guides leading groups through the ship's most haunted areas. They share chilling tales of apparitions, unexplained noises, and cold spots, painting a vivid picture of the ship's spectral inhabitants. The engine room, where 2 workers tragically lost their lives, is said to be a hotspot of paranormal activity. The first-class swimming pool, long since drained, is supposedly frequented by the ghost of a young girl. The Queen Mary has earned her status as one of the most haunted places in America. Her hauntings have been investigated by numerous paranormal investigators and have been featured on countless television shows. The ship's dark corridors and empty rooms seem to echo with the whispers of the past, creating an eerie atmosphere that's both thrilling and chilling. The Queen Mary, once a symbol of luxury and opulence, now serves as a beacon for those drawn to the mysteries of the afterlife. An ocean liner that once sailed with elegance and grandeur now sails the seas of the supernatural. As we disembark from this spectral voyage, the chilling tales of the Queen Mary continue to echo. A vessel of steel and iron, the Queen Mary is a grand testament to human ingenuity and ambition. Yet beneath the gleaming surface lies a history steeped in mystery and shadow. Once a beacon of luxury, traversing the vast expanse of the Atlantic, the Queen Mary was the epitome of opulence and grandeur. She was a floating palace, a symbol of progress, yet as the years passed, the ship's illustrious facade faded, revealing something far more intriguing and, dare we say, otherworldly. The Queen Mary's voyage into the realm of the paranormal has been as remarkable as her journey across the seas. There is an abundance of chilling tales and eerie encounters that have taken place within her steel confines. Whispers of phantom figures, disembodied voices, and inexplicable cold spots are all part of her haunting narrative. The ship's engine room is said to be a hotbed of spectral activity, and the infamous Room B-340 has a reputation for being particularly active. These, along with countless other locations on the ship, have been the stage for encounters that have left even the most hardened skeptics questioning their beliefs. Fast forward to today, and the Queen Mary is no longer the bustling hub of maritime travel she once was. Her engines have long since ceased their mighty roar, and her decks no longer echo with the laughter and chatter of excited passengers. Yet, in the silence, the ship is far from dormant. Now permanently docked in Long Beach, California, the Queen Mary is a museum, a hotel, and a testament to a bygone era. But more than that, she is an enigma that continues to captivate the curious, the brave, and those who dare to delve into the unknown. A ship that once carried life, now carries the whispers of the dead, forever sailing in the twilight between our world and the next.